Today's topic is hard to pick. I mean, we do this every week. There's been like a bunch of bombs drop in the AI world, but one specific one is a new release on images inside ChatGPT, which is what most people are familiar with, and it is doing some crazy good stuff, and especially with text, which has always been the bane of AI images. So we're going to show you some of that great stuff. And I think what happened with this DALL-E image release is they kept it for a while and made it pretty great. I don't know if you've played with that one.
Oh yeah, I've spent a
It's a
couple
good
hours over the
jump.
last.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really mind blowing.
I mean, I did images like last week, and now all of a sudden there's something to do this week. Last week I did images was in Google AI Studio, where you could
hmm
just like put in words,
hmm
or I did this. Let me see if I get it on the screen right. You'll put that in and turn it into something like amazing, like a cartoon, or like put your kids' drawings. This is mine. That's me, actually. Um, so there's all kinds of great stuff that you can do in there, and that's recorded. We're gonna do this one here. So I assume you guys are all AI people. I kind of know that you are. Do you do on the word side, or are you guys creating images?
I'm
I've
more on the
tried.
word side, but I'm playing around with creating images, and some of
Okay.
those uh, links you gave out last couple of weeks were phenomenal for that. I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing on it, but I'm just playing around. But the word side's been great.
Excellent. And so a lot of times if people are doing, say, creating copy, right, then getting images to go with that is a big thing. And the neat thing about AI is you've got, basically, you're creating your own unique royalty-free images, and you have a little control over them. And so that's neat. And we do that. We create images, that go with social posts. We create images to go on blogs. And so,
I've actually had it's almost the opposite in that the stuff that's been being created is more sophisticated than I want. And I'm trying to get it to simulate what I'm inputting, but it's having trouble interpreting the images I put in to try and replicate them. I don't know if that's
What app are you using?
just I've been trying the chat GPT, throwing in the a picture and seeing what it comes up with or describing something. Does it have the ability to take a look at a picture and understand it, if you will? Because
hmm
it doesn't seem like it's been comprehending that very well.
so I know
Are you on a
Dustin's,
Plus account?
Yeah.
yeah, Dustin's got more experience with me. I spend a lot of time on probably um, the marketing kind of content creation side. Though
Yeah.
I had an earlier call. We're using it for songwriting, making music, and actually making music videos using it. So I get my like artistic guitar player, singer side coming out over there. Let's stay on track though. It's super fun to talk about all this stuff. Um, Dustin's got, I know, some tutorials on getting the best out of images. Now, this one, I don't know if you've tried it in the last few days, Dean, because it got a monumental kind of a watershed upgrade. Um, if you guys can see this, right? It's got a little updated flag there. So you could start like by typing, create image, but there's a neat little way here on
Hmm.
the toolbar.
Hmm. I didn't even know that was there.
Oh, wow. I'm glad that's
I've just
recorded.
been talking to it.
Oh, we love talking to it too. Uh,
Yeah.
it, and I said this before too, and to maybe to Dean's point, some of the best people, uh, some of the people that get the best results in AI have a couple things in common. First of all, they have a thought and a vision on what's going in and what they want out. And they're good at communicating that to AI. So refining it, right? So I don't know what your use case is, Dean, unless anybody's got an objection. Why don't we just try one of his? prompts.
Sure. No, I start by inputting an image though. So you would need to have the image, I think.
Okay. Let's say you were going to do one from text.
Well, okay, so I'm doing the pop-up cards. I'm trying to build something that can create a as close as possible replica to what I'm inputting as an image. So you want me to just dictate or
Well, no, let's go a different angle.
okay?
Um, this is this is a way to put in, again, this is not a tremendously clarified prompt, right? And let's see if it comes up with something. The angle I'm kind of going with this is one of the use cases of this new thing is creating infographics.
Hmm. I never
Uh,
thought of doing it this way.
well, this is, you couldn't do it this way before, probably, right?
That's
It,
why.
yeah, and I think that like some of these other models, I wish it showed us what it's thinking about, right? I'm doing a demo at the Cincinnati AI Tinkers later about Manus, which is an AI agent. And so there's a little bit of AI agency in its loose form, meaning that it had to understand kind of what we're asking and probably then go out and understand like what a pop-up card is. Now, I don't know how well it's going to do with yours. You have a very niche product. Jen and Bert and Dustin, I don't know if you know, but you know, he has these kind of like greeting cards, right? And you pop it up and there's like
I've seen them.
a house
Yeah.
or uh it's
Jen, have you
customized
seen?
like the two people on a wedding cake that are getting married, you know? I mean, just or something about your product. They're really slick.
Have you seen them, Jen? I don't know if we've had a chat.
You showed one a couple meetings ago that I was at,
Yeah,
but very quickly. So yeah.
yeah. But there's the one he's talking about.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other company I know of that does it is Love Pop.
And the big difference is they do generic and we will custom build the model.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's like I said, the wedding thing. Like you can get, you know, your product to pop up or
Right,
something.
right, right. Got it.
It's just looking at this image.
Well,
Dean,
it
I noticed the
Dean, do you
second
guys have
girl.
a setup? Do you have a setup fee for those cards?
Yeah, it's $4.95 for a fully developed 3D custom model and $2.95 if you use an existing model and just do the colors and layout of the card. And that's one time only. So if you have a reorder, there's no setups after that.
Cool.
yeah, I see the extra hand in there, Dustin. So it really doesn't do a great job. I sort of hit is probably more about the card itself, but probably these are some good
Oh,
reasons why you would use send a card, right, Dean?
yeah, it's actually not that bad as far as the idea behind it. Surprise, celebrate. That is the reasons why.
Okay, so we're gonna if you guys don't know, when you're in here, if you're like, oh, that's weird. So you click on it, then you can sort of get in edit mode, right? So up in this top part, I'm gonna click a thing and I want to modify that part, right? So you've got um, very distinct, you know, granular control over modifications, unless you have a generic one like so I don't know if you guys,
It's a fun prompt.
Jen, Bert, have you seen that where you can go in and like not just get the one you got, but take that one and make it a little bit better if you've got some ideas?
I haven't played with images in AI at all.
Ooh, well, welcome to staying up late tonight.
Is this
Ethan Mollick is a thought leader, and he had a book a couple of years ago, Co-Intelligence, and maybe you've already experienced it, but he's like, you know, you haven't really dug into AI until you had a couple sleepless nights. Like you're so energized at like what this environment can do, right?
Is this the same thing you were showing me, Dustin, about putting the sunglasses on the cat, stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah. The technical term for it is called inpainting.
It is not running super fast, folks.
Well,
In
and that's the
painting,
thing about this upgraded model. It's extremely good, especially in terms of it really outdid its predecessor, Dolly 3, or is
yeah,
outdoing its predecessor. Dolly 3 is historically terrible at photorealism. So if you try it for something photorealistic, you will get incredible results. Whereas before, if you tried to have Dolly do a photorealistic image, it was garbage and
it
unusable
it
for the
it
most part.
is. It,
Or,
it's
it had that sort of AI generated look that you could instantly tell this is not real. And, some people like that. Some people thought it was good, but this model also is, obviously far superior and far more advanced and takes a lot more time to process.
it does even for a cartoon. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen people like this is probably like replacing entire deployed business models, like upload an image and make it a headshot. Like you don't have to go get that service anymore. I can take a picture. So I think Dean, you might have a lot of luck in this new evolution. Are they? I haven't really heard it called like Dolly 4 or something. Do they have
They
a
haven't
like a
named it
weird
yet.
name for it or?
I anticipate that it's it's definitely a some sort of amalgamation between what they did with
All right, I'm
Sora.
I'm gonna stop this one. It fixed the hand, right?
Get it? Yeah.
Yeah, let's give
Yeah,
it
so this is probably an evolution of Sora, if my instincts are correct. Their
I'm
video model.
not gonna bet against you, buddy. So here's another one. And I know other people in my world that like paid $27 to go get a class on creating infographics, and then you have to go to Canva and like do all this stuff. I made some for me over here, but we'll just pick one, doing and just let it show you that. Again, it's sort of almost agenic. So workflows are sort of like a bunch of prompts stack, broadly speaking. Agenic AI is sort of when you give it an idea and then it thinks through a process and then it can execute those things.
Is this something where at this point you can input or have direction as far as how it's thinking when it's doing these things, like instruction or?
That would probably be all at the input prompt level. So to that point, I just showed somebody today, actually our little creative session where this guy was using, say, ChatGPT, and he was having a separate Google Doc for his thoughts and these lyric changes. Now there is a thing. I'm going to light it up and see if it helps us. So Canvas is a little sidebar that kind of, well, I'm not going to help. We probably needed to do it before we started. So it sort of like if you're writing something that's more complex than like, write me 3 versions of a social media post, right? So if you're like uh, coding, right, or you're writing a speech, you could bring this canvas sidebar and populate a section over here, and it would sort of have like your history and then come along as a coach and help you work together. And then you could execute like your thought process changes on that side. It's not remarkably different than just scrolling up and down, but you don't have to. Does that make sense, Dustin? Is that a fair way to say that?
Sorry, you were cutting out.
Oh,
My internet's been a little spotty this morning, so I
okay.
didn't fully hear what you said.
Right.
I heard you,
Uh,
Mark. Or Mark. I heard you, Greg.
okay. I
So
was
it's
just
probably best.
sharing how the ability to semi-participate in how the AI is working can be done through the Canvas feature, where you have a sidebar of what's going on, and it can even ask questions. You can give it instructions. So instead of scrolling up and down all the time, um,
Can you tell it like the specific brand colors and fonts? Like, does it have access to different fonts and stuff like that?
that gets sort of into the Canva world, and I had this teed up from last week. Of course, are you Canva?
Yeah.
So I kind of thought so because you got a brand guide, you got fonts, right? They have not only Magic Design, which have you played with that over there?
A little bit, yeah.
This is a little, I think, more advanced than Magic Design. Some of it looks the same.
Is this part of ChatGPT?
No, I made a big jump there.
Okay.
Which when Jen started talking about color guides and fonts,
Yeah.
it sort of gets out of the purview of the current image creation tools that I know of, but it's sort of, then it lands us in, where most people go. And guess what? Where most people used to have to go to fix the text. And I want to get to that before we're out of here in a few minutes. But there's Magic Design, and then there's this Dream Lab, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it does some stuff. This is the famous one. I think Dustin gave this to me like a year ago, and I still sort of use it. There's no hands in it, so nobody can complain when I'm sharing. And we'll see how this new evolution does hands inside OpenAI.
It does it pretty well.
Yeah, I've
Still makes
seen.
mistakes, but it's less
Yeah,
mistakes than
gotcha. Let's
way
see.
far less mistakes.
This is still super slow. Come on, baby.
Is this available in the custom GPTs as well, or is it just the general one?
You're basically um, working inside the Chat GPT world. So OpenAI is big, right? So
Yeah.
it's got ChatGPT for the word area, Dolly, Sora, so but several of these, multimodal things. And I think what they found is they just made it easy for the average Joe to be able to create images right inside here. But you're really using a different silo inside of the OpenAI organization. Does that make sense?
That's a
Yeah,
good way
no,
to
I
put
just
it.
wondered if you have a custom GPT made, if it can do these same things, or if this is only accessible through the main.
I imagine you could build a custom GPT that actually used the create image functionality.
But not this model.
I think it would probably use this model. Again, this is days old. It is my assumption that if they follow the track that they've done, it's probably, a
As
yes on all of
as
that.
late as last night, the GPTs will not access this new image model. They will still access the old model.
Okay, well, there we go. I want to get into the text idea here.
I don't know, just quick, Dustin, is this what you were talking about, or would this be one of those things that's extremely multiplication sensitive types of works that GPT is doing? Like as far as the multiplier for the number of words being used through Magi and things like that?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
I think he's talking about Magi usage, which is a little bit.
Oh, we don't have access to this particular image model yet because they haven't released
Yeah.
it to anyone except ChatGPT Plus and Pro users.
Okay.
But it would be treated just like any other generative image
I just
inside of
think it'd
Magi.
be a high multiple at this point.
We
Gotcha.
don't know because they haven't released the cost.
Okay.
Gotcha. So for those playing along, in the room today, we have Dustin, who is the founder and creator of Magi, which is an amazing AI tool. I'm a paid member over there, one of my subscriptions, and it's got a lot of stuff. And I think that's what those guys are digging into. Jen, this might be super cool for you. So we might play with modifying this one. So essentially, again, I told it about this is one of my new angles, cost of inaction, right, on AI. So not only did it think about what they are, it made an image, right? And it put all these words on here essentially perfect. So you have not lived the pain of making something in AI that had words on it and it messed up enough of it that it was absolutely unusable.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you could go do remember my little highlight trick? I'll show you.
So I a question about an edit here. Could you go in and say now, make everything that's orange green?
Well, let's try that. So first of all, I used the selection tool, right?
Yeah.
And I said, move this down so it shows all the words. Because how dumb is that? First of all, the model should have got that right. So then, oh,
Yeah.
it did it. Good. I'm like, well, first of all, that's double. There's his first mistake, but that's space for me. So I think, hey, let's push this thing a little bit. How smart is it? Why don't we put my doggone logo and fill that lower piece, right? Again, I highlighted the bottom, right? Remember we had our little thing. Remove words, replace with the logo, and
Interesting.
it wasn't able to do it, but
Hmm?
So
I might steal this little thing. There's like my thing on a map. I don't know. So again, it's like agentic. It's understanding sort of like the context of it. It's stacked.
I'm curious, Greg, maybe next time try without the selection tool. Just upload your image and say add this logo to the
Okay.
poster to the
Well, let's do that. We'll
because
continue.
I tried several with adding my logo to different
Okay.
images, and I I was speechless for
All
about
right.
5 minutes
Well, let's
about
do this. So,
the precise accuracy
right.
that it
Then
just
I'm going to
put
punch
it
that
right on
in.
there.
So I just said I did that. And then at least to get something right on the wall, done is better than perfect. So at least it got my wording properly there. I tried it to get the URL right on that one. So let's do this. So we're going to get the selector tool. But look, I'm not fixing like half of these friggin' things. They're not misspelled. It took some stuff in. It read my image and made this. Give me a second. Let me go find my logo.
No, Greg, I would say try it without the selection tool.
Oh, watch this. Cancel.
Yeah, just do it right in the conversation, like the regular chat thread, and literally
uh,
just tell it, replace the mapping your marketing with the attached logo, and then just attach the logo. Because like I said, that's how I did it. And if I understand how they're engineering this correctly, I think the selection tool isn't quite as good, or the selection based edits aren't quite as good as just having the AI do it, right in the chat
okay.
thread without
Well,
selecting.
and they have some use cases, because sometimes I would be like, oh, um, make the tiger's eyes green. It was very granular and specific, but I like this one. So I'm just gonna go snag my logo. Drag and drop it. Okay, so let's go, baby. So thoughts of Bert, Jen, Dean, like I think you surely have probably the best AI tool inside the ChatGPT world. And I think it's very fundamental for us like non-artists, to get some really good stuff out of here, right? So our buddy Oz, who's a Tech Corner regular, he does some really deep art, but I'm pretty pragmatic, right? I just need something good to go along with my content that is unique and identifiable, something I can brand. And this tool brings it to me. So I still would have probably taken one of those, saved it off, gone into Canva, and then pasted my logo over it. Does that make sense, Jen?
Mhm.
This isn't the Canva AI, right? This is
Absolutely
ChatGPT.
not. And I did not mean to put a wrench in the machine there. When we jumped to the other blue screen, that was Canva. When most of the 95% of today, we've stayed inside ChatGPT. But part of getting results is knowing the right tool to use. And that thing came about because and there may be some special tools in the AI world. I mean, we have this thing from Marianne in the group. She's always like, I want it to make me a logo. And that's probably not a great default AI image generator stock thing, might be more of a Canva thing. But this stuff is melding, right? So the AI platforms are evolving into what the other things did, and then Canva's coming from the other way, right? And adding AI to it. I mean, there's AI in everything. So it's really ubiquitous. And that's one thing we try to do is cut through the hype. And I've done it for so long that I can hear a use case and come up with a solution. So that's why we did a sidebar.
This model's painfully slow.
I'm a terrible user. My stuff is overloaded. I had meetings before. I'm blessed with client work. I'm doing fulfillment today. We're launching some videos we just created for some people. So, and this should be like,
Oh, it looks like it stopped.
you know why video works so fast? Because video only overwrites the part of the screen that changed. So this thing should just like write the whole top part. Could you guys see this? I see Dustin's froze, but he said he had errors.
No, my screen's froze halfway through on your picture.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That thing is not.
Yeah, it looks frozen.
It does. So I don't know what mine says. 2 minutes left. That sound right to you guys? Can you see your?
Mine says time remaining 0.
Time ratio. Okay, so soon enough, if that thing doesn't pop, I'm going to close these rooms. It's my real world time says 48, so I want to have enough time for people to do their shares in the last few minutes. Oh boy, I'm afraid to hit refresh here. Let's try it. We'll give this one more minute. So I was going towards
guys, but good
okay.
stuff. We'll
Thank
see
you,
y'all next
Dustin.
week.
Yeah.
Any final questions, thoughts?
Just if I
There's
put
too
in
much genius to take in.
Okay, I'm going to scroll down and see. All right, so it didn't put the logo in. Like, see how this one was like side by side, right?
well, it ran out of room though.
Well, if it would have put it in, it would fit, right? This little thing would fit wide across the bottom.
Yeah, if it was smart enough. Okay.
Yes, Tony.